Respected listeners, this tutorial is about divide and conquer strategy based algorithm, and it comes as a sequel to the divide and conquer algorithm 1 part 1 that we discussed in the previous video. And this time it is quicksort algorithm as the second example of divide and conquer strategy based algorithm. The quicksort algorithm really quick as the name itself would imply, and we will really see how exactly it is quick in comparison with merge sort algorithm. Quicksort algorithm is also called as partition exchange sort algorithm. It's an efficient sorting algorithm developed by British computer scientist Tony Hoare in 1959, and it got published in 1961. It is still widely used algorithm for sorting because of its quickness. And as a comparison to merge sort, we can say that merge sort algorithm divides the array with respect to position in the array. That means in every iteration, merge sort algorithm divides the array and hence divides the unsorted subarray exactly at the center. While quicksort partitions, it doesn't divide, rather it partitions an array according to the value of elements present in the array itself, present in the unsorted array itself, in comparison with another element which is drawn from the array itself, and this element is called as a pivot. The name is given from the fact that this element which is drawn by the array itself plays a pivotal role, a guiding role in partitioning the array into subsequent pieces of subarrays. Okay, and this is an array. This element is called as a pivot because it guides all the way. By the elements of the array is compared with the pivot, and pivot will occupy the position in the array which is a sorted array. So in essence, in the first iteration of the array, after finding the split position, after finding the partition position, there will be two subarrays left, one to the left of this pivotal element which has occupied the sorted array, which is occupied the position in the sorted array. The left will consist of all the elements which are lesser than this value, and to the right the greater than this particular value. Okay, therefore the partition happens, and this portion of the array is unsorted and this portion of the array is unsorted. Once again, quicksort algorithm is recursively applied for this and recursively applied for this. Now we will move with an example. It is really prudent to move with an example, and the method is to select the very first element to be pivot. So in this example, 15 as an element stands to be pivot. Okay, this is a pivotal element. Now there will be two pointers, one moving from left to right, the other moving from right to left. So that means J moves this way and I moves this way. Okay, I will go on moving, okay, and it will stop if it encounters an element which is greater than or equal to pivotal element. While then it will stop, it will find a stoppage, and then J will start moving. J will move in the direction towards left, and it will stop if and only if it encounters an element which is lesser than or equal to pivotal element. So I will stop whenever it encounters an element greater than or equal to pivotal element, while J will stop whenever it encounters an element which is lesser than or equal to pivotal element. So now we will just exercise this, okay, with the given example, and we will really realize, okay, three situations that this algorithm will finding itself. Okay, the three situations depends upon whether or not the I crossed j. Okay, I may not be crossing, okay, the j. That is one situation. I will come and occupy the position of j in a particular iteration, or I may cross j, and we will just see this. Okay, when it moves, so here it has to move to 11 because it starts moving. I will start moving in this particular direction. Okay, it can definitely move. It will come to 11, then it will come and stop here at 19 because 19 is greater than the pivotal element, which is being 15. Now j will start moving. Okay, 17 is definitely greater than 15, and it will come and stop over here because 14 is lesser than 15. 14 is lesser than the pivotal element. Then exchange will take place between this element and this element. Okay, the ith element that is 19 will get exchanged with, okay, this kind of exchange will happen. Okay, and 14 will come and sit here while 19 will go over there, but I still remains over here. I and j will still remain over here. After this exchange, that means if in any iteration, if I doesn't cross j, or j doesn't cross I, they are somewhere in the midst of the array, sorted unsorted array, then exchange will happen. ai will be exchanged with aj before cross. This is one of the situations. In this situation, the I has not crossed j, nor j has not crossed I. Okay, now it will start moving. I will come and stand here. It can move further. It will come and stop because 18 is greater than 15. Okay, then j will start moving. J will cross this because 18 is greater than 15, and j will come and stop over here during its movement in this particular direction because 12 is lesser than the pivotal element. Okay, 12 is, so j has come over here and j has stopped over here and I is over here. So I value is greater than the positional value of I is greater than the positional value of j. That's how algorithm will identify whether or not j crossed I or I crossed j. Now with this happening, the partition will happen over here at the jth position. So our partition will always have at the jth position, and the pivotal element will be exchanged with, the pivotal element is exchanged with the position where j, the pointer j is resting after having crossed I. So now this is the array. This is what the array has become. Now 15 has gone, the pivotal element has gone and occupied a position over here, and it will also cause split. Okay, there are 4 elements after the split to the left of 15, and there are 3 elements to the right of 15, and you can notice over here these elements are greater than 15, that is pivotal element, and these elements are lesser than 15. Okay, right, next we will go to next slide. We will continue from here itself. Now this will become the pivot. So now a quick sort is recursively applied for the left portion of this subarray, and I is set over here, j is set over here. So I will start moving. 13 is definitely greater than 12, therefore it will stop here only, it doesn't move. And j will start moving because 14 is greater than 12, and it will come and it will stop over here because 11 is lesser than 12. Now swapping will take place. So I is here, j is over here. Swapping will take place because I has not crossed j, nor j has not crossed I. Therefore 11 will come over here and 13 will go over here. Then once again I is here only and j is here only, right? J is here only. Then j will come and sit over here, and I will move over here, and I will stop over there, and j will stop over here because 11 is lesser than 12 and 13 is greater than 12. So j will stop, yeah, I will stop over here and j will stop over here. I has crossed j, or j has crossed I in this particular case. Therefore, swapping will take place. 12 will be, the pivotal element will be swapped with this, okay, with this element, and 11 will come over here, 12 will come over here. So the left portion subarray consists of only one element, and an array with only one element is already sorted. There is no question of sorting this further. Or quick sort requires at least a minimum of 2 elements in order to engage in sorting process. So 11 is over here. Now we will take up this particular array, portion of this subarray, and this will form the pivotal element. This will form the pivotal element, and this is I, and this is also j, because there is only one element. So I cannot move further, it has to stand here only. J can move further in the leftward direction because this 14 is greater than this 13. Okay, this stands to be pivotal element, okay, in the further move of the iteration. So j will come and stop over here, and the pivotal element, that 13, is exchanged with j of j only. So therefore 13 remains over here, and the array partition happens over here, and 14 will be remaining over here, and there will be only one element left. Okay, 12, okay, 11, 12, okay, 11, 12. I think 12 should have been written over here. Okay, it's wrong. 12 is over here, and 12 is also over here. 11 stands to be there only. So 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, left portion of the array is already sorted. Now we will enter into the right portion of the array, because we know we have left it over here. Okay, it's over here, and we will take this portion of the array for the implementation of quick sort. Okay, now this will become the pivot. This will become the pivot. Therefore, the quick sort algorithm is recursively applied. That's what we can say over here. Okay, this is I, this is j, this is j. I will stop over here only because this 19 is greater than the pivotal element. J can move. So j will also stop over here because 17 is lesser than the pivotal element. Okay, exchange. So I is here, j is over here, and exchange will take place. There is a swapping over here. They have not crossed it. So 17 will come over here, okay, and 19 will go over there. J is still there, and I is still over here. Okay, now I will start moving, and I will come and stop over here. Okay, I will come and stop over here. And j can move further. J can simply move further, and j will come and stop over here. It will come and stop over here because this is 17 is lesser than the pivotal element 18. Therefore, the swapping will take place between these two, and 17 will come over here. 18 will occupy this particular place, and 19 is still there. So therefore, array gets partitioned with pivotal element occupying its pride of place. So 17 is over here and 19 over here. So finally 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, 17, 18, 19. This is the sorted array. Okay, what comes after this iterations, after the implementation, recursive implementation of quick sort is 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, 17, and 18, and 19. Okay, this is the thing. Therefore, we will just recall our memory, okay, as to what had happened in the example. Okay, the I is an index which will move from right to left, and it will continue to move till it encounters an element which is greater than or equal to pivotal element, and j will start moving. J will start moving from right to left. That's what we saw. That's what we saw in the previous slide. And j will continue to move till it encounters an element which is lesser than or equal to pivotal element. Okay, whether or not these indices have crossed, there can be three situations. Situation 1, the scanning indices have stopped, I has stopped in its position and J has also stopped in this position. They are midway in their journey, okay, and but they have not crossed. In this situation, swapping of AI with AJ will take place. AI will be swapped with AJ and I and J will further start moving, and when they become equal to, when I and J will stand in a particular position where I value is equal to J value, and both of them will stop at a particular position, let us say somewhere over here, which is I and J. Okay, definitely this element should be equal to pivot, because I will stop if and only if it encounters an element greater than or equal to pivot, and J will stop if and only if it encounters an element which is lesser than or equal to. This equal to criteria will make them to stop here at a common location if at all the element that they encounter, both of them encounter, happens to be equal to pivot. Then still the pivotal element will be exchanged with A of J. In this situation, array gets partitioned into two sub-arrays. Okay, so this is the situation where partition happens. Okay, there will be left side array and right side array which are unsorted, and the partition will happen if scanning indices have crossed. Okay, J comes over here and I will go over here. Okay, and I will, that is the value, the positional value of J being less than the positional value of I, or positional value of I being greater than positional value of J. Then in that case also pivot will be swapped with A of J. Okay, so we will just remember, okay, just remember that swapping will happen in quicksort if and only if I and J, the moving indices, okay, will stop at a common place, or they will have crossed when I becomes greater than the value of J, the positional value of J. Okay, right, now we will continue with this. We will write the algorithm now. Okay, algorithm quicksort. The name of the array is P, and we never start from 0 to n minus 1 because the left extremity and right extremity keeps changing depending on the location of or the position of the subarray, unsorted subarray. Therefore, this is commonly named as L and R. L is the left extremity and R is the right extremity of the subarray. It is only in the beginning iteration, the first iteration, the array is not partitioned. So after partitioning, we will find several segments of the unsorted array. Therefore, it is prudent to name the first position to be L and the last position to be R, left extremity and right extremity of the subarray. So what it does, it sorts a subarray by quicksort. Input an array P L to R. This is the portion of the original array P which starts from 0 and ends at n minus 1, defined by its right and left indices. Okay, this subarray is always defined by the right and left indices. Output the subarray P of L to R sorted in ascending order. Okay, as long as left index or left extremity is lesser than the right extremity in terms of the positional value, the left extremity will be always lesser than right extremity. Okay, then we will call another algorithm called as divide algorithm, okay, which takes the subarray as the input and returns the position where split has happened. So in every iteration of the quicksort algorithm, there is a need to press another algorithm into service. The name of the algorithm is divide, because justifiably so, because it divides, it partitions the given subarray and finds the location where split should happen. So keeping hold of this particular split value, quicksort is again applied recursively. Okay, maybe for the left portion of the subarray, for the left portion of the unsorted subarray, let me say that, okay, which has elements starting from L to, because left extremity will never be changed, because this happens to be the left portion of the unsorted array, up to sp minus 1. Sp minus 1. Sp is the split position. And the other array portion is array defined by two indices, two positions, that is extreme position sp plus 1, the left position, and the right position is r. Okay, so quicksort is recursively called. So this will end up in its execution if and only if this particular situation is reached. Then this will start. Okay, first of all, the left recursive tree will be completed, then the algorithm will take up the finishing the right portion of the subtree. So, okay, these are all the successive recursive calls, okay, that is devoted to left portion of the tree, and right, this is the recursive calls given to the right portion of the which are available in the right portion of the recursive tree. Right, algorithm divide. Let us say how exactly this divide algorithm, which is part of the quicksort algorithm, will really help in finding the split position. Okay, in whenever it is called. Okay, it divides the subarray by choosing its first element as the pivot. Yeah, an element, okay, an array P L to R of P0 to n minus 1 defined by its first and last indices. Anyway, whatever may be the number of the calls, anyway, subarray happens to be the part and parcel of the main array. Okay, therefore this should also be written in order to avoid any possible ambiguity. Okay, output is, it returns the location, the split position where partition of P L to R happens. Okay, this is very important. Now we will set pivot to be P of L, that is the left extreme element. Okay, and this is the portion, this is the property of the array itself, therefore the same notation, same name is used, P of L. And we will set I, that is the left extremity, left index, which will start moving from left to right at L, and J at R plus 1. It should be set at L because when we say for the first move, it should go and occupy the very next element which is beside the pivotal element. Therefore, it is at L. And when we start moving J, it should occupy the last element. Therefore, it is at R plus 1. Okay, little away from the next, from the right extremity. Okay, this extremity is over here. Whenever we say R minus 1, R equal to R minus 1, it has to come and occupy the last element. Whenever we say I equal to I plus 1, it has to come and stand at the element which is just beside the pivotal element. Okay, so that this element should not miss the comparison with the pivotal element. So also this element should not miss the comparison with the pivotal element. Okay, now repeat until I is greater than or equal to j. Repeat until I greater than or equal to j. I greater than or equal to j means it has crossed, and I equal to j means they have come and become standstill, become standstill at the common location. Okay, now within this, before they crash or before they come and stand at a particular position, these loops should work. Repeat, I should start moving. Repeat, I equal to I plus 1 until P of I, that is pivotal element, is greater than or equal to pivot. The array element which is rest of the pivotal element should be greater than or equal to pivot. Then j will start moving, j equal to j minus 1 in the backward direction until P of j is lesser than or equal to pivot. Greater than or equal to pivot, lesser than or equal to pivot. This will stop, then this will start moving, this will also stop, and this has not reached, therefore swapping will take place between Pi and Pj. Okay, this stage is reached, either I and j are at the same position, the pointer which is at I and pointer at j are at the same position, or they must have crossed. In that case, we will exchange the leftmost extremity element. Okay, this should be P, of course, very sorry. Okay, this should be P. P of L should be exchanged with P of J. P of J. P of L is the pivotal element and P of J is the element where the pivot should go and stop, go and occupy the position. Okay, okay, right. Return J. Okay, it is at this place the pivotal element will go and stand, go and find its position. Therefore, J is to be returned. So therefore, split position in quicksort is J. Is J, where swapping has happened. Right, right. We will further go now. Quicksort algorithm experiences best case. We will analyze the complexity of quicksort. Quicksort algorithm experiences best case when split happens when I equal to J, because number of comparisons happens to be only n. Okay, we will see that, and this split is in the middle. The split should happen exactly whenever I becomes equal to J, and split should happen in the middle. So we will take an example, okay, of 15, right, 12, 11, 15. Okay, now 17, right, 18, sorry, 17, maybe 22 and 18, let us say. So I will start from over here. It will move because 11 is lesser than 15. It will come and stop over here because 15, this elemental value is equal to pivotal value. Okay, therefore it has to stop. Then J will start moving. J is here. It is greater than 15. It will start moving once again. It will come and occupy this position because 22 is greater than 15, and it will also look at this particular element, and 17 is greater than 15. It will start moving once again. It will come and occupy this position because 15 is 15. This elemental value is equal to the pivotal value. Okay, this is the pivot. Okay, this is the pivot. Now, when I started moving, one comparison, second comparison, 2, 3 comparisons, and when J start moving, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4 comparisons for J and 3 comparisons for I. Total number of comparisons equal to 7. Number of elements also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 elements are there. 7 comparisons will take place. We can write a recursive relation for this. Okay, number of comparisons in the best case of quicksort algorithm, as a function of n, as a function of input size equal to okay, as many comparisons as it is needed in order to split two sub arrays, each of size n by 2, because the split should happen exactly at the middle, n by 2 plus n comparisons in finding such a split position. I repeat, in the best case of the quicksort algorithm, the number of comparisons as a function of input size equal to as many comparisons as it is needed in order to sort two unsorted subarrays, each of size n by 2, and n number of comparisons before that split happens. Therefore, here if we apply the master's theorem, A equal to 2, okay, and B equal to 2, and D equal to 1. That is the power of n, D equal to 1. Therefore, it falls under the second conditions in the master's theorem, where A equal to B to the power of D. In that case, the algorithm falls under big complexity or efficiency case of big theta n to the power of D log n. Okay, log to base 2, of course. of course, right? D is 1, therefore the best case complexity of quicksort algorithm is n log n log n. Okay, right. We will just go. The worst case of the algorithm is when an already sorted array is presented. That means if we give an array which is already sorted in arranging order, and if we ask the quicksort algorithm to arrange it again, it will suffer. It will suffer the great. Okay, it will find its greatest suffering. We will see. We will see by taking an example. Okay, so here let us say 2, 4, 8, 15, 17, 21. There are 6 elements. Okay, and this is the pivot. This is the pivot. I will come and stop here only because this is greater than the pivotal value. J will start moving because 21 is greater than 2. It can move, and J 17 is greater than 2. It will move. Okay, it will also come over here. It will also come over here, and it will also doesn't stop at 4 because 4 is also greater than 2. It will come and stop here only because 2 is equal to 2. The pivotal element, the element that J is finding, is equal to pivotal element. Therefore, it will stop. So therefore, swapping will happen between these two only, A of J and pivotal element. Therefore, partition happens here only. You can see this 2 is already in the sorted array. Then 4 will become the pivot. So in doing so, how many comparisons have taken place? 1. So I has found only one comparison. It has stopped. J 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the time J occupied this position, 6 comparisons for J, 1 comparison for I, it amounted to 7 comparisons. Okay, number of elements are n, and number of elements are 6. Number of elements are 6. Number of elements are 6, and number of comparisons is 7. So if there were to be n number of elements in this way, in a way that it is arranged in ascending order, then before the first partition happens, there will have been n plus 1 comparisons. Now I will come over. See, this will become the pivotal element. Then 8 is here, 15 is there, 17. Okay, 21. So this will be the location where I stands, and this is the location from where J starts moving. So 1 comparison, 1, it will stop here only because this is the pivotal element in the second iteration. Okay, and this is greater than the pivotal element. It will stop here only. J will start moving. So it incurred 1 comparison. Okay, because computers will never understand unless it compare. And unless it compares. So this is 1 comparison, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comparisons. So 5 elements are there, 6 comparisons. In relation to the original size of the array, this becomes n. Therefore, in the second split, the number of comparisons is n. In the third split, it should be n minus 1. Okay. The comparisons is going, it will go on happening like this, and it will be a skewed array. Okay, so this array size is great when compared to this portion of the array. Okay, it progressively builds on the sorted array for doing nothing, of course, for doing nothing. So this is the place where algorithm should stop. Okay, because this is the minimum number of elements that are required. This is 21. The minimum number of elements that are required in order to implement any sorting algorithm is really 2. Number of elements should be 2. Therefore, this will become the pivot. This will become the pivotal element, and this is where I will be placed, and this is where J will be placed. Okay, Anyway, AI is compared with this pivotal element. It is greater than the pivotal element, therefore it will stop there only without any movement. And J will compare 21 with pivot. Definitely it is greater than pivot, therefore it will start moving and it will come and stop over here. Once again, so number of comparisons: 1 for this I, 2 J, 3 for J. 2 comparisons for J, for the movement of J, and 1 comparison for the movement of I, movement of I. Then therefore with the least number of elements, minimum number of elements, okay, when the array reaches minimum number of elements, okay, by its skewed kind of arrangement, okay, number of comparisons in the last stage happens to be 3. Okay, like this. So this is total number of comparisons. If you put together the number of comparisons in the worst case of the algorithm, okay, as a function of input size n, happens to be kind of series of comparisons, 3, 4, 5, like this, n minus 1, n plus 1. This is to begin with. So this is okay. Had it been from 1 to n, we would have written n into n plus 1 divided by 2 as the sum of the series. Had it been from 1 to n, okay, it is not from 1 to n anyway. We will just modify this. Okay, in place of n, we will write n plus 1. So n plus 1, okay, into n plus 1 plus 1, that is n plus 2 divided by 2. Okay, and since the series starts from 3, okay, 1 plus 2 is missing from the series, therefore this should be lessened. So 2 plus 1, 3 should be lessened. Therefore upon simplifying this, the biggest term happens to be n square. Therefore the algorithm, the worst case algorithm, the worst case of quicksort algorithm happens to be big theta of n square. Okay, anyway it can be easily said, there can be no input which is already sorted and asking any algorithm, as a matter of fact, to arrange it yet again. Algorithm does roundabouts, it beats about the bush for doing nothing. Therefore this is a fictitious situation. So I repeat, as far as the worst case complexity of quicksort is concerned, it presents some kind of a fictitious situation of giving an input which is already sorted. Therefore the best case holds good. Now it can also be said, it can also be proved that quicksort experiences an average case efficiency of, okay, see, it has already been proved. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to take up this, it's not required. None of the algorithms are designed for average case efficiency. This is as a matter of interest. It's a matter of interest. It can be proved that it is 1.38 log n. Okay, log n. The average case efficiency of quicksort algorithm happens to be 1 point. It can be proved. Okay, that is it makes 38% more comparison with respect to its best case. Okay, in average case, okay, it is 1.38, therefore 0.38, that is 38% more comparisons with respect to its best case. Okay, given the importance of quicksort algorithm, persistent efforts have been made, okay, in yesteryears, over the years, of course, to make it more faster than merge sort. Among several improvements discovered by researchers are the better pivotal selection methods. One of the methods is median of 3 partitioning that uses pivot the median of the leftmost, rightmost, and the middle element of the array. Leftmost subarray, rightmost subarray, and the middle element, because pivotal median element means the middle element. Okay, it is the central location of the vector, central location of this list. Okay, if we select that, definitely we can achieve still better results. But anyway, we must have understood, okay, at this juncture, that quicksort is really worth considering, calling quicksort as quicksort, because it really works quickly. The movement of this I and j is a linear process. Okay, one for loop would suffice in order to make them to move, as you have seen in the algorithm. And there won't be many number of swappings as it happened in case of merge sort, and there is no extra space. Empty arrays need not be created, empty arrays need not be destroyed, unlike merge sort algorithm. Therefore all these what is that drudgery, extraneous works are not at all found in divide and conquer algorithm. Okay, the time is incurred only in comparison. Okay, and the worst case will never happen, because nobody will bring the input which is a sorted array and ask the algorithm to sort it again. Therefore it is a fictitious situation. And mostly a quicksort algorithm enjoys n log n complexity itself, because of the varied nature of the input sequences. And in the worst case, it could be 1.38 n log n. It could be 1.38, okay, n log n, the average case. Okay, it may seem that it is little bigger than the merge sort, but anyway, merge sort is laborious in terms of finding new arrays, finding empty arrays, destroying empty arrays, too much of swapping, okay, which are not accounted when we do the analysis of the algorithm. Okay, that is a very important point that we should bear in mind. Therefore quicksort is really quick. And there are two questions which are left to my respected listeners. And apply quicksort to sort the list selection sort in alphabetical order. Okay, and you make this as pivot in the usual way. You have to show all the steps. Okay, is quicksort in place? Is it stable? For this question I will give a hint. Anyway, it is in place because we never used any extra arrays or empty spaces. There is no extra usage of space. It happens just like shuffling once again, by sheer movement of two indices and sheer comparison of an element with an element called pivotal element, which also comes from the same array. Therefore quicksort is in place. Is it stable? We will take an example. There is 5 over here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 5 again, this is 5 again, this is 7, let us say this is 11, then this is 7. So I is set over here. Okay, I will come over here because 2 is lesser than 5, and I will come and stop over here. Okay, hanging to 5, and j will start moving over here because 7 is greater than 5, and j, it is 11, j will come and stand over, will compare with this 11, and it will continue to move because 11 is greater than 15, greater than 5, and j will come on, stand over here because this element is equal to pivotal element. Then this 5, okay, pivotal element will be swapped with this element. Okay, and in the initial and in an unsorted array, this carried its positional value equal to 0, that is I was equal to 0, and this equal valued element carried its positional value 0, 1, 2, 3, j equal to 3. Upon splitting, okay, during the split or during the exchange, during the separation, during the partition, okay, this 5 will occupy this particular place. So j dash, okay, I dash will become 3, okay, j dash, I dash will become 3, j dash will become 0. Okay, Okay, j dash becomes lesser than I dash. Okay, this is I, sorry, this is I dash. So I dash becomes greater than j dash after sorting. Okay, before sorting I was lesser than j. Therefore, the position of the relative position of equal valued elements doesn't remain the same as far as quicksort is concerned. Therefore, quicksort is unstable. Quicksort is unstable. So with this we will stop and we will just take up the binary search, which is another example, that is example number 3 as far as the divide and conquer technique is concerned. Until then, bye.